I think we've reached a decisive moment in the European and global response to the war in Gaza. Not because of the problems specifically of the Middle East, not because they are new, but because the patience of Europe's political conscience appears for once to have reached a limit. And France, joined by the United Kingdom and Canada, has now announced it will recognise the state of Palestine at a United Nations sponsored conference in mid-June, or at some point round about that time, co-hosted by Saudi Arabia. So this is not the first time such declarations have been made, but this time the choreography is different. It will be coordinated, it will be deliberate and defiant. The French Foreign Minister, Jean-Noël, has made it plain recognition is not a symbolic gesture, but an active attempt to change the diplomatic calculus. The language is severe. Gaza is a cemetery, and Israel's blockade is a profound violation of human dignity. France, once paralysed by balancing acts, is now positioning itself as the conductor of the European chorus, demanding a political endgame. And this move comes after months of escalating horror in Gaza following the October the 7th Hamas-led terrorism against Israel and Israel's subsequent military response, the onslaught. And Macron's, Starmer and Carney's joint statement was unambiguous in its condemnation not only of Hamas's violence, but of what they call Israel's disgraceful conduct in response. And the diplomatic gloves are off. But recognition is not merely a rebuke to Netanyahu, it's also a rebuke to inertia. For too long, the West has rehearsed its peace rhetoric while quietly outsourcing policy to Washington, or worse, to war itself. And France's initiative is an attempt to reinsert politics into a situation that's become almost completely militarized. And yet the contradictions are glaring. France condemns terrorism, yet recognizes a Palestinian Authority that still operates the grotesque pay-to-slay scheme, monthly payments to the families of terrorists. It supports Israel's right to security, yet threatens to suspend the EU-Israel Association Agreement on human rights grounds. It calls for an end to the blockade, yet offers no concrete guarantees that aid won't again be siphoned off by Hamas. So we shouldn't be naive in any way, and we have two hands for a reason. Recognition doesn't conjure the state into being. There's no sovereign Palestinian territory, no functioning unity government, no agreed borders, and critically, no shared vision between Hamas in Gaza and Fatah in Ramallah. To quote Barrow, more important than recognition is the existence of a Palestinian state, but this existential precondition remains at the moment unmet. This makes France's move both brave and brittle. It's brave because it punctures the paralysis of Western policy. It's brittle because without a viable peace process, recognition risks becoming a mirage, a diplomatic trophy without institutional substance. Meanwhile, Israel's response is as expected. It's furious. Ambassador Danny Danon is rallying allies to oppose what he calls the anti-Israel tsunami, and the Israeli government claims that recognition rewards terrorism. It doesn't. It excoriates Netanyahu. Netanyahu, with the support of hardliners, sees such moves as a betrayal of Western solidarity and a green light to Hamas. It's not just rhetoric. The UK has suspended trade with Israel, sanctioned settlers, and summoned the ambassador. The EU may yet suspend parts of its trade agreement, and we're witnessing a tectonic diplomatic shift, not necessarily in favour of Palestine, but certainly against Israel's current policy direction, and that can only be right. The French Council of the Muslim Faith has called silence complicity and described the Gaza blockade as part of a genocidal plan. Such language, incendiary to some, reflects a deepening moral divide. For many across Europe, the Israel-Palestine conflict is no longer a distant question of borders. It's now a litmus test of humanitarian consistency, and yet recognition alone does not feed the hungry, nor bury the dead with dignity, nor unite a divided people. It can only be the beginning of something more substantial, a coordinated European effort to revive the long-dead peace process, to pressure both sides, yes, both, to abandon maximalist aims and to restore the political language of negotiation over that revenge. France's decision is not a resolution but a reckoning. It forces us to ask, are we ready to treat the Palestinian question not as an afterthought to security, but as a core component of regional stability? Or are we simply dressing up our disapproval in the diplomatic garb of recognition? Recognition without realism is vanity, but realism without recognition has led us to ruin. And the challenge now is to turn this gesture into real policy and to turn the policy into genuine peace.